Good morning, sports fans. I was just got up a little bit and feeling a little bit groggy. Just got out of bed, so you gotta forgive me on this. Now I was gonna do some sports news earlier, but news later that is. But I just decided to do something here. It has to do with some NBA and NHL news first of all. Okay, now now the NBA news first of all. As y'all know, the Miami Heat, they lost their game last night to the Brooklyn Nets, and they got swept in the series too, 4 games to nothing. Not in the playoffs, but the whole NBA season. It's a bit surprising to me because I thought LeBron James was going to end that winning streak. So, so that now creates a whole lot of scenarios if they do meet in the postseason with Brooklyn Nets winning the series. But the playoffs sometimes does not always hold the same as the regular season. I mean, the playoffs is a whole different scenario or different series. So it could be anybody's game if they meet in the first round of the NBA playoffs. And also, some other basketball news. The University of Connecticut women's team, they beat Notre Dame. I don't know what the score is, but they made it look so easy against that team, Fighting Irish. And the Yukon University of Connecticut Huskies, they won both games. The men's and the women's teams won. It's kind of like the Olympic hockey, Canada beating the United States, being winning women's and men's hockey. But this is basketball I'm talking about. So that's got to tell you something right there. Maybe their program is effective. And NHL news now. The general manager of the Vancouver Canucks got fired last night, or the owner, or the general manager. I think it's general manager that got fired. Well, that's not a surprise because the Vancouver Canucks have been struggling throughout the season. I mean, they were winning, and then for some reason they struggled. Maybe it's due to the injuries of their key players, but it has to do with the management, I think, because I mean, they haven't had a winning. They haven't made it. Well, they have made the playoffs, but this year they didn't make the playoffs and have had a winning season. And another team that's not going into the postseason is the Toronto Maple Leafs, the second Canadian team not making the postseason. So they lost their game to the Tampa Bay Lightning, and yeah, they've been struggling throughout their season, late season, and Columbus Blue Jackets, they won last night, so that kind of puts an exclamation mark right there, or put the nail in the coffin of their postseason hopes. Okay, now that's ended. Okay, let's get on to some other things. It has to do with professional wrestling or WWE wrestling. Now, as you all know, I just read it this morning. The Ultimate Warrior has died at 54 years old. He was I just saw him in WWE Hall of Fame, and for some reason, a couple of days later, he collapsed. That's not really surprising. Well, I was surprised that he collapsed, but I think he probably took some steroids. Now, I'm not really sure if he did or didn't, but when I saw him way back when I was watching him, when I was growing up, he was a big guy. He was very big and muscular. And nobody can get that muscular without some sort of substance, drugs or steroids, or some sort of growth hormone drugs. Yeah, he was a big guy. And you got to wonder if all the training must have affected his heart. Because your heart, when you're muscular, your heart has to work a lot harder to get the blood flowing to the body and to those muscles that you train. I imagine his heart was working a lot harder than when he was training a whole lot. But I have to say steroids were probably the cause of it. You train very hard and your heart has to work harder to get the blood flowing to those muscles. So yeah, it's unfortunate he collapsed and died. It's sad. But my condolences go out to his wife and his daughters. That's all for now.